Welcome back, listeners and viewers. We're here with another episode of the Power of Nine podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Eggert. Today's guest is a business coach that helps established small business owners create a compelling vision for their future that inspires and focuses the daily actions of their team. Let's get this party started and share the journey of my friend, Laurie Hollinger. Laurie, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Aaron. I'm happy to be here.
I'm pumped to have you on. Help me remember, how did we meet? Who connected us?
I connected us.
You did? You did. I was looking for that, and I'm like, how in the hell do I know Laurie? Like, did you just reach out? Like,
it's the magic of LinkedIn. I was scrolling, and I saw, I don't think it was a specific person. I just kept seeing Coalition9, and I was like, oh, this looks cool. I wonder what this is. Yeah. And I went to your website, and the first thing I saw was your branding.
Oh boy!
And I was like, "Oh, this is good. I like the vibe." And I dug in a little deeper, and then I started to see the profiles of the facilitators on the team, and I was like, "I think I got to meet this guy.
I want to go there."
Yeah. So I did a cold reach.
I love it.
And I was just like, "Hey, Aaron."
That's why I, in my digging around, I was like, man, how the hell do I know Laurie? So I met you and we scheduled a walk. And from that point forward, I was like, we got to figure this out. Like, you are one of those people that you have a great energy. And, one of the things I love about doing this podcast is that there's people like yourselves that more people should know. Maybe not posting a ton on LinkedIn and big digital personalities, but yet you've got this cool boutique focused business and you've got an amazing story that backs that up. And I want to just tell that story to our listeners and our viewers. So if you're cool with it, let's dig in.
All right. I appreciate it. I hope to not be a well-kept secret anymore.
Not
working
anymore.
on it.
Yeah, let's do this thing. So all right, what I love is bringing people on also that are brought up in rural communities. I live in a rural community. We share an affinity for farm culture. Take me a little bit back to your growing up and what it was like to grow up. Where'd you grow up and all that stuff?
So I grew up in a small farm community in western North Dakota. Mm-hmm. So I say North Dakota, people think Fargo, not that. Keep going another 6 hours. And you'll hit Glen Ullin. Population, at the time I was growing up, probably around 900.
Yeah.
It was like most small communities in the area, built on the railroad line. And every community was probably like 15 miles apart, something like that. Pretty typical. We had 5 bars, 5 churches.
That is a typical farm community. Well said. Yeah, one grocery store.
One grocery store. And it was a great way to grow up. I mean, in a community that's small, if you have the desire, you can do all the things.
And so were you a good kid? Troublemaker, good kid? A little bit of both?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
I would say good kid. I had a little rebellious streak in there. So I figured if I taught Sunday school, being at the party on Saturday night might not be so bad.
Yeah. You just those two will cross each other out, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And so, what were the family dynamics growing up? Mom, dad, siblings, that kind of stuff.
So mom and dad, hardcore entrepreneurs. My dad started out in farming, ranching, and then when I was maybe 7 years old, they bought a bank. So they bought the bank in town. That was a big step for our family because they retained the farm and the ranch. And so they did all the things. But, super solid community members. My dad did Dollars for Scholars, and my mom hosted all kinds of community events. And I don't know, just really super supportive. And kind of led me to believe that whatever you wanted to do, you could do it.
What was that uh, that experience of being a kid and your parents are they're not leaving the farming, right? They maintain the ownership and operation of their farm. However, they go to buy a bank, which is like, you know, that is insane to me. And how I even wrap my head around that. Like, one, how did you not get into banking? Because we'll get into your journey here, but and you didn't, you have had nothing to do with banking, which is fascinating. And
Nothing.
then two, like, what impact did that have on your family when you were such a young kid?
I would say it was kind of stressful at times.
Hmm.
First of all, when my dad came home one day and said to my mom, Donna, I just wanted to let you know I just signed a $500,000 note. We're buying a bank. And my mom said, John, what do you mean? We don't have college educations. How can we do this?
Yeah.
And he said, if we don't do this, how are we going to make something of ourselves?
Hmm.
And that is a very vivid memory for me,
Wow.
that it was important to take this big risk to be able to succeed.
Hmm.
And, it wasn't always easy.
Hmm.
In a small town, in an agricultural community, you are doing business with people you grew up with.
Hmm.
You're
Hmm.
having tough conversations about, lending money and how things are going to be repaid and that sort of situation. And so I felt it a little bit, being the banker's daughter wasn't maybe as cool
Yeah,
as some
right.
people might think.
Right. How about siblings? Did you grow up with any siblings?
Yes, I have two brothers, one who most definitely got into banking.
Yeah, I
He's
was
my
gonna say,
little brother.
yeah, okay.
Yeah, 10 years younger, and he now works at US Bank. And my middle brother, he entrepreneur as well, has a business called Sound Decisions, where he does high-end stereo systems, car
Cool.
starts, that kind of thing, in Aberdeen, South
Oh,
Dakota.
all right. So are they both still out there out west?
No, my brother Brian, he works here at US Bank Corporate
Oh, in the Twin Cities. All right, cool.
in the Twin Cities. Yep, he's
Cool.
in Minnetonka.
So, when you look back on some of that stuff, one of the things I always like to think about is like the nature versus nurture and in your growth and upbringing. And you think about a massive change and decision that was made that is basically trajectory changing for your family when your dad decides to sign a $500,000 note. Do you feel like where do you think you fall on the continuum of nature versus nurture? Do you think it's a balance of both? Do you think one has had a little bit more of an impact on your life?
I I think it's absolutely a balance of both.
50-50?
Um, yeah, 50-50. I
Yeah.
mean, my nurture was stability.
Mm.
It was, role models that were, and I'm probably very biased here, good humans,
Hmm.
what that means to me, a safe landing
Yeah.
that let my nature take its course, which was risk taking. I mean, my resume out of college, my hobby was rattlesnake hunting.
There we go. Boy, that would have been. I wish I would have worked that into somehow well, maybe it is in your 9 questions. That's hilarious. Rattlesnake hunting. I don't think we've ever had anybody on this show that has even said the word rattlesnake, much less hunted them.
Yeah, the interviews that I had at Saks Fifth Avenue, that was a big topic.
Yeah, I bet it was. Yeah, we'll get into that. I can only imagine what those interviews were like, especially being a farm kid from Western North Dakota, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So where'd you go to college?
I started at NDSU.
North
Um,
Dakota State, yeah.
and yeah, I mean, at the time I went to school, it really wasn't, I mean, now it's a question of what college are you going to? And, at the time I was going to college, it was who's going to college?
Right, right. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
And so, I had an aunt who went to North Dakota State, and I said, well, I guess I'm going to North Dakota State.
Huh. And what'd you go
And
for?
I knew exactly what I wanted to go for.
You did?
When I was growing up, I loved fashion. I always loved fashion. My whole family liked dressing well In fact, I was thinking about it. My grandparents built a home in the 50s, super modern, flat roof, walkout, walls of windows, and came to Minneapolis to buy all the furnishings.
Huh.
So is that nature or nurture? I don't know. But somewhere in there was this desire to be in fashion. And I would get 17 magazine. And I told my mom, Mom, one day I will live in a place where I can actually buy these clothes.
Yeah.
Because at that time, I had Sears and Penny's, and if we drove 50 miles and crossed a time zone, there were a few stores at the mall.
Yeah, right.
That was it.
Yeah.
So I went for, the fashion degree there was home economics. So that's what I was at.
Yeah, which is crazy, right? Like even those words coming out of your mouth just don't even register with me like now, because that is not like those two, home economics is not even a thing, and frankly, nor should it be. But like I think, diving into whatever you feel is going to be your journey, I think you had to figure out what school is going to kind of get you to where you want to go, and I think you probably knew North Dakota State wasn't going to be, it was maybe more of a stop in the journey rather than it being something that is going to be a major milestone. So then you had to get some type of additional schooling beyond home economics at North Dakota State University to get into eventually going to Saks Fifth Avenue, right? And going to New York. What did you do to continue that education beyond North Dakota State?
Well, so I have to give props to North Dakota State. The advisors and the dean of the College of Home Economics were very progressive women. I mean, my advisor taught a class on why women only make 71 cents on every dollar a man makes. And I was like, whoa.
Love that.
Yeah.
Love that. If that's not empowering, I don't know what is.
Yeah. She played racquetball with her male colleagues. And when I told her what I really wanted to do, that I really wanted to go to New York, she said, we'll get you there.
Huh.
And so she talked to the dean, and the dean said, we can do we have a visiting student program with the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York City. So if you're interested in that, I will help you.
Wow.
And that's how I got there.
And so what is that program like? Obviously, you probably did 4 years at North Dakota State. Did you do all 4 years at North Dakota State, or did you jump ship and then go to the Fashion Institute?
So they had actually arranged a program where you could do 3 years at North Dakota State. And then your last year you finished at FIT in New York City.
Cool.
And you came out of it with a BA and an associate's degree from the Fashion Institute.
And so was that a 1-year program, the Fashion Institute?
Yeah, it was a 1-year program.
And give me an example of one thing that you did that when you got there, you were like, oh, now I know that I'm with my people like this. Okay. And it probably was an early stage thing because you already knew that you wanted to go there. But what was one like aha that was like, oh shit, this is my people?
Well, we had a lecture and it was, I can't remember exactly. I think it was called Fashion Business. And when the first guest speaker was Calvin Klein,
nuts.
I was like, oh. And, I'm in an auditorium of 200 people, and he's just telling us how great it is to be with this young crop of people who will influence fashion.
Yeah.
And the next week it was Donna Karan, and the next week it was Ralph Lauren.
That's nuts.
So it went.
Wow. That's crazy. All right, so let's take a quick break. Let's listen to. I want to get into your career because your career is fascinating, and I don't know anybody in fashion, frankly, nor should I. But now I do know one person that is my fashion guru, and probably the only person we'll ever have on the show that is related to fashion. So we need to dive into this. Let's take a quick break. We'll come right back with Laurie. But let's listen to a few of our community supporters here who make this thing all go.
United Healthcare is dedicated to helping people live healthier lives and making the health system work better for everyone by simplifying the healthcare experience, meeting consumer health and wellness needs, and sustaining trusted relationships with care providers. UHC is continually focused on building a modern, high-performing health system via improved access, affordability, outcomes, and experiences. With a network of over 1.6 million physicians and healthcare professionals in over 6,000 hospitals, United Healthcare is dedicated to connecting employers and their employees to better health by offering quality benefits designed for affordability. For more information, visit United Healthcare at www.uhc.com. United Healthcare, helping people live healthier lives. Mason Jar Marketing helps businesses bridge the gap between marketing and sales so they can crush goals. They're a collaborative partner, one who translates strategic priorities into actionable, goal-aligned tactics. You can count on them to deliver creative expertise and flawless execution for all marketing channels, no hand-holding required. If you're ready for a partner who listens well, thinks big, acts fast, and drives results, schedule a complimentary marketing needs assessment at masonjarmarketing.com. Kaisa Wealth Management treats each client like a member of the family. Acting as your personal CFO, we are fiercely devoted to your financial prosperity. At Kaisa, our wealth strategies are aligned with your core values, creating a wealth plan centered around legacies you wish to create. This is our Kaisa commitment. Our wealth strategies are dynamic and tailor-made for your long-term goals because as a fee-only investment firm, excellence in service is not just a promise, it's our baseline. Whether it's selling a business, planning succession, creating a legacy, navigating life challenges like death or divorce, supporting executives on the move, planning retirement, or preserving family wealth, we are here for you. Find out how we can help to simplify your wealth at kaisawealth.com.
Tell me if this sounds familiar. Your business is having challenges with adding revenue, or you're ready for quicker growth and scale. Your sales team lacks a coach or mentor to help guide and excel their production, and you're not quite sure who the best resource is for sourcing and replacing sales professionals on your team. When you're looking for a company that provides sales solutions that drive growth, look up Sales Homie. Sales Homie is the premier fractional CRO or VP sales agency, additionally offering sales recruiting and placement services, sales leadership coaching, and sales team training programs. Don't put your business at risk with low revenues and uninspired sales professionals. Learn more about Sales Homie by visiting their website at saleshomie.com. Sales Homie, sales solutions that drive growth.
Regardless if you're a startup just figuring things out or a medium-sized organization with a full team, having a legal partner by your side is crucial. Seiler Law is fiercely loyal to their clients and are passionate about removing headaches and roadblocks that can pop up during the growth of your business. Whether you need general outside counsel, are planning a business transaction, or even need someone to guide you through the estate planning process, the team at Seiler Law are the advocates for you. Visit seilerlaw.com to learn more. Seiler Law, where experience meets pragmatism.
Verseek Search and Consulting is thrilled to support Coalition9 for an exciting year ahead. Verseek is a Minnesota-based, high-performance recruiting firm that specializes in interim solutions, direct hire, and executive leadership search. Our team of experienced professionals and seasoned leaders across various areas of expertise and industries have been in your shoes. Your company's success hinges on the capacity of your people, and few areas of your business are more critical than your finance and accounting team. You need talent who can move the needle while winning the trust of leaders and stakeholders in your organization. Your people make it possible. Verseek can help connect you with the talented candidates within finance and accounting for consulting or direct hire needs, as well as within other industry areas in executive search, direct hire, and interim solutions. People are the ultimate business advantage. Find your people together with Verseek and make the best possible for your business. Learn more by visiting Verseek.com and by following Verseek on LinkedIn.
All right, we're back with Laurie. Laurie Hollinger is our guest today. I'm super pumped to dive into this career journey. As I said before the break, we are, you're probably going to be the only fashion-related person on this podcast, which is fantastic because, one, that isn't, these stories are the ones that people need to hear, and these are the stories that need to be told, and they're fascinating as hell. I remember thinking about this when we were going for our walk when I first met you. So you alluded to this earlier, so I'm going to expedite this a little bit. Your first gig out of FIT was Saks Fifth Avenue. And, Saks Fifth Avenue is a massive brand and continues to be, but yet is iconic, right? Especially from a fashion perspective in New York. How in the hell did you get a gig there?
Aaron, they say so much of life is luck.
Right. There's
And I have to believe that that's what I don't know if it was that. Some of it I attribute it to just how badly I wanted to be there.
Yeah. So
when you're on FIT, part of what they do is they send in different people to do recruiting.
Mm-hmm.
And Saks Fifth Avenue was one of the companies, Bloomingdale's, all the big stores recruited from FIT. And they accepted 20 people a year into the training program, the buying training program. And I just remember going through the interview process. And that's when, I had a lot of questions about, so I see rattlesnake hunting on your resume. Tell me a little bit about that.
I love that.
And I don't know. I was just real candid with people that, I was here for this purpose. And, if you give me a chance, I will work really, really hard for you because this is what I love. And I always want to do what I love.
So you started at Saks Fifth Avenue in sportswear, and then you transitioned into another organization into jewelry buying, and then you came back to the Twin Cities and did some work with Dayton / Target / all the brands underneath that umbrella. Tell me what makes a really, why were you a very good buyer? Buying and being a good purchaser is a very different ball game in that fashion industry. And then obviously the jewelry aspect of things, but in fashion, in design specifically, that is such a intricate type of thing because you're dealing with so much emotion and the consumer mindset is so fickle. What made you good?
I would say, buying is a lot more finance and marketing probably than a lot of people realize.
Mm-hmm.
The assortment building and the selection process, that was just a little more innate for me. I am not a blank page creative, but when I see elements, pulling them together is probably where I shine.
Mm-hmm.
And I love strategy. So it was a big strategic game of every 6 months you had to build your plan. Because we did first half year planning, second half year planning. If you give me $30 million, this is how I will turn it into $40 million, right? Mm-hmm. You had to build that proposal. And I loved that piece of it.
Yeah. When you were planning for future years, and you're doing all this strategic aspect of things, with an emphasis, let's say, on finance and marketing, when you're thinking about what products and offerings that you're going to bring into the store, whatever store that you were working with, how far in advance were you talking with designers and talking with manufacturers and things like that for a future launch?
The category that I bought, dresses, was pretty close to need, actually. I could turn things quickly, gave me an advantage because I could oftentimes see what was selling and then react pretty quickly. Mm-hmm. Sometimes it was 3 months, sometimes it was a year. And then later in my career, when I was doing product development, sometimes it was even longer than that. But the trend spotting piece was also something I loved. To see what was coming into stores, to understand what people were interested in, and then to say, how can we maximize the potential of what we see happening?
So I have to believe you went to the School of Hard Knocks then on the business side of things. Was it a little bit of a shock of how much business related things, I'm just going to use a broad word of things that you learned in your roles versus what you had education prepare you for?
Yeah, definitely. There was a lot of on the job, when you're studying fashion and they're telling you you're going to use algebra someday, you're kind of like, oh, am I really? Yeah, and then it's like, yeah, really, every single day.
Fascinating.
And FIT, before you left there, you had to do the financial stuff for the program I was in. Not as much at Saks. That was a little different. But then coming to Target Corporation, again, I loved how bright people were, how they were thinking about business. And really, there were a lot of great people there who wanted to help you be successful.
So prior to starting your business now, did you spend your whole career in fashion?
I would say it's fashion and then fashion light. So
Okay.
in 2003, I think, I transitioned to a small business, and it was an entrepreneur with the idea that marketing merchandise could be far more effective if you took a retail perspective to the product. Meaning, give someone the products they're seeing and liking at retail, and they're going to remember your brand.
Mm-hmm.
It was a small business. I was brought in more in terms of sales, but I was like, man, I think there's a lot of opportunity. We're going to need some products. We're going to need some capabilities. We need bigger things to sell. Mm-hmm. And so I had the opportunity then to do the product development side of fashion, which is not buying it, but actually conceiving it and making it.
As you reflect back on your journey of doing, Saks and then jewelry and then Target and then getting into that company, the small business, do you feel like you found more of a happy place of that, of like being in a smaller business with a little bit more of an entrepreneurial spirit? Or did you like the structure of being in a little bit more corporate environment?
Well, the support in corporate is great. You have whole departments of people helping you with things like, marketing and, frankly, getting the mail.
Yeah.
And in small business, it's different. You're doing all of those things, but the learner in me appreciated knowing how all of that comes together.
Mm-hmm.
Because the more you know, the more you can impact, mm-hmm. and the faster you could move and change. And I loved that part of it.
Do you think that was a little bit of that product development company? What was the name of that company, by the way?
Mosquito. It's Great. Now changed to June Co, I think.
Great. I love the Mosquito name. I hate mosquitoes, but it's a great name. So, you think about, I open up the show of, talking about you being a business coach and helping, establish entrepreneurs. Do you think that was a little bit of that catalyst for you of wanting to do that for other entrepreneurs rather than just working within an organization? Like, okay, now I got a little bit of a feel of what a small business is really like, and maybe even the pains of what, an owner is feeling, being in a first-hand perspective, seeing it in real time. Was that a little bit of the gas that you needed to throw on that fire?
Absolutely. Yeah. So, thinking back even to my parents, entrepreneurs, they put it all on the line. They put in their money, they put in their time, they put in their heart, and they deserve help.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And that, and, seeing it. So, and you now are an entrepreneur yourself and, building up your business. And so do you feel like you are experiencing, how do you manage experiencing some of the same challenges that you coach on?
Oh man, I know. I got to eat my own dog food.
Right. Yeah. What's one of the biggest things that you coach and you feel on your end of things like you wish you were better at doing it yourself as an entrepreneur?
Every entrepreneur, letting go.
Yeah.
So it just, whether it's from a financial perspective or I should be able to do this perspective, entrepreneurs hang on to a lot of stuff that they should let somebody else more qualified do. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so I just recently have aligned with a copywriter who is helping me write a weekly newsletter so I can be a little less of a secret.
Yeah, good.
And out there a little more often. And I keep looking for ways to bring partners into my business so that I can just focus on the pieces that I love.
Yeah. There's a term that is used by business operating system called delegate and elevate, right? So delegate that stuff and let everyone succeed from that. What would you say is let's just shoot it straight. Like there's a lot of business coaches out there. There's a lot of entrepreneurial coaches out there, all that other stuff. But I think what it comes down to, one is personality, right? So obviously you've got a great personality. You're easy to get along with. You're very likable. That kind of checks the box for a lot of people. What do you think your superpower is that on the business side of things, when you're in the work that you do, taking all of this journey that you've had around, probably being around pretty mercurial type of individuals that are kind of all over the place. Designers, I think, have a little bit of an MO that they're a little bit hot messes in some respects and maybe rule with an iron fist. So you've got that aspect of things. And then probably working in a small business, working in that small business mosquito at the time to where you're working with an entrepreneur firsthand. So you've got the entrepreneurial side, you've got the crazy fashion designer side, you've got all the different corporate type of stuff that's going on. How has that formed what is your superpower and how has that helped shape it?
So some of my clients refer to me as the visionary whisperer. And the way they describe that is the owner or visionary can talk and talk and talk and talk. And there are a lot of words usually. And I'll listen for a little bit and I'll boil it down to one sentence and I'll say, so is it fair to say you mean this?
Yeah.
And the team will look at me and they'll go, how'd you do that?
Yeah. 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 That's powerful.
Yeah.
What part of your, like, how does that work? I'm like, that is
I don't know.
I think one thing that, I feel this sometimes for myself, I know this has come through and talking to other owners and entrepreneurs and frankly, just leaders in general. I think articulating vision is very difficult for certain people because you've got this all these things going on in your head. And, as the human brain works, you can connect so many dots in your brain and you can see where it's going. It's just the words that come out of your mouth or out of that person's mouth are typically jumbled and it don't really make a lot of sense. How are you able to get in there, and those that are watching and pointing at my head, in the brain of that individual and help articulate that a little bit better?
I think some of it is innate, and I think some of it is a practice I've been doing my whole life, which is synthesis. Taking in a lot of information and synthesizing it down to what's important. So when I was in buying, I was like, which are the trends that are going to be meaningful to my audience? When I was in product development, I was like, what are the macro trends happening in the world that are going to be meaningful to people who are trying to market their business?
Mm-hmm.
And now when I'm listening to business owners, I am listening to the whole story and I'm picking out what are the things that are directional in terms of where they want their company to be 10 years from now. So I think it's just a practice, a learned practice, and a natural, maybe strategic ability to want to line things up.
Yeah, there's a little bit of process in your brain, right? Where you've got to be a little processive in that, to where you have to be, and disciplined. I don't doubt for a second in order to synthesize. I think that discipline of listening and being able to then distill it down to a sentence or whatever it is. That's a gift. I don't think a lot of people can carry that same type of gift, because you have to combine a couple of things that sometimes are a little bit mutually exclusive, and so that the digesting of that is probably pretty painstaking in some respects, I think, as you're starting to work through some like jumbled vision and some of those types of things.
Yes. And a lot of it is just asking a lot of questions and then playing it back.
Yeah.
So did you mean this?
Yeah.
Because this is what I heard.
Yeah. That's it. I think salespeople could use that in life too, of asking a lot of questions and clarifying. I've talked about that in the past on the show. When you are introduced to somebody as a potential client, and you know that they're a great fit, or it's like not the best fit, like where is the ICP? What is your ideal client of like, okay, this is a perfect fit. This is where I think we talked about it a little bit, but get a little more granular for me.
So first of all, established business owners, people who have been at it a while. Maybe they're at a point where they're stuck, either growth-wise and that could be business growth is stuck, or they could feel stuck.
Yeah.
Meaning man, I started this business and I love this business, and now this business owns me, but I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah.
What am I going to do?
Yeah.
There is a byproduct to the work that I do that I'm very interested in. And that is, there are 33 million small business owners out there. And they account for more than 2/3 of new job creation. That's a lot of people working for a lot of small business owners.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we have happy small business owners who are thriving and working in their area of genius, you got a happier company.
Which has a trickle-down effect to society.
It does. It really does. And I know that sounds, even when I say it, it sounds very huge and lofty.
Yeah.
But I'm like, man, if I can make an impact and I can get in there and help those established business owners with solid businesses hire and grow a culture where people can do their best work, then I feel like I've really done something good.
Yeah. And to me, there's more to that than making some money as a business owner or anything like that. To me, you and I think that's probably where we hit it off on the right foot. Is we're both pretty legacy focused, a little less focused on making a ton of money at this stage in our lives, and it's more about impact. And I heard that loud and clear when I first met you, and it comes through crystal clear, especially in this conversation. To me, that's a huge appreciation I have for you. That's why you're a great leader of people and why you're successful in your business. So you can't do this all alone. You got to have a family that supports you and some good humans that have your back. Tell me a little bit about your family.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there were a lot of conversations with my husband, when I woke up one day and decided, I have this great job and things are going well, and I think I have to quit and start my own business.
Yeah.
And he was like, you know what? You have to do what you have to do.
Yeah.
Do it.
Yeah.
He's a super supporter and just a cool guy overall. Yeah. We have 2 sons. I call them our 2 only children because they're 11 years apart. So we have
that's a big delta between 2 kids. 11 years. Yeah, that is. I can see where you come up with that quote unquote only term. Yeah.
And they are as different as can be, but kind of best friends. So that's pretty cool.
I love that. Yeah.
Yeah, and we have all ages and stages. So our oldest is 27, our youngest son is 16, and then we have a 2-year-old grandson.
Yeah, sweet.
And and Maverick spends every other weekend with us.
And that's your grandson?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I met Maverick at our community appreciation event along with your husband. And that was awesome that you brought him out there. That was great. And then any fur babies? Any pets?
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had to have a girl. And
good. We gotta get some female energy up in that place for sure after hearing all that.
Yeah, we do. So I have Betty, and she is she's now 4-year-old petite golden doodle.
Sweet. Well, let's do this. We're going to take another quick break. We're going to listen to a few more of our community supporters. We're going to get ourselves mentally prepared for 9 questions. After we do 9 questions, I wanted you to be able to share how people can get a hold of you, how they can learn more about you, how they can subscribe to your new newsletter and things like that. So let's take a quick break. Let's come back with our after listening to a few of our community supporters and come back with Laurie Hollinger.
When you think of a typical CPA firm, you probably think of tax planning. Well, that just scratches the surface of what Boulay offers their clients. By providing smart, in-depth thinking from experts in accounting, audit, tax, and business consulting, they know what it takes to achieve financial success. Whether it's protecting your business, building your wealth, or securing your future, you can count on Boulay to go beyond addressing just financial matters and providing you with tailor-made, workable solutions. Learn about all they have to offer at BoulayGroup.com. Boulay, helping you get there.
Are you a local business owner looking to take your enterprise to the next level? Look no further than Security Bank and Trust Company, your partner in growth. Our dedicated team of smart, experienced bankers understand the unique challenges and opportunities facing businesses like yours. With personalized financial solutions and expert advice, we're here to help you succeed every step of the way. From tailored business loans to cutting-edge digital banking services, Security Bank and Trust is committed to your success. Experience the difference a local bank can make. Visit us today at any of our convenient locations or online at security-banks.com. Security Bank and Trust, growing together.
As a boutique Twin Cities-based investment banking firm, Madeira Partners works closely with family, founder, and management-owned businesses, bringing over 25 years of experience and hundreds of successful transactions to the table. It's in their DNA to educate owners on what potential exit opportunities look like, along with any industry or company-specific things to think about to make your business more attractive to potential buyers. Regardless if you want to sell tomorrow or in 10 years, the team at Madeira Partners would love to provide their expertise and guidance along the way. Take some time to explore their website at madeirapartners.com. Madeira Partners, your life's work deserves our best work. The topic of talent is hot in organizations of any size, and I would argue none more than small to mid-sized businesses. That's why it's crucial to have a partner to help you navigate all the HR idiosyncrasies so you can focus on working on your business and not in it. Insperity is a full-service HR partner with a high-touch, high-tech platform helping owners work through challenges like employee retention, company culture, and benefits, just to name a few. Do yourself a favor and explore all they have to offer at Insperity.com. Insperity, HR that makes a difference. Tradition Capital Bank is a local bank that has the products and capabilities to service middle-market companies, nonprofits, and their owners, employees, and families by offering a high-touch approach paired with customizable solutions. Think of them as your nimble allies serving with generosity, care, and precision. Tradition starts with the assumption that there's always more to learn, try, and discover, aiming to find the best yes for whomever they have the privilege of working beside. From a foundation of trust, Tradition takes disciplined, smart risks to help people grow beyond what they even thought possible. Tradition Capital Bank is the second largest privately owned bank headquartered in the Twin Cities, and with locations in Edina, Wayzata, and North Oaks, Minnesota, alongside their office in Scottsdale, Arizona, Tradition Capital Bank is committed to big bank offerings with a small bank ethos. Let their team be the friend you need in your next financial move. In addition to our amazing prospering and thriving level supporters, we want to shine a spotlight on our equally amazing evolving level supporters: Alliant Insurance Services, Bauer Design Build, Beyond Design Resource Group, Entrabank, Fluid Interiors, and Modern Foundation. All of the Coalition 9 community supporters can be found at coalition9.com/community-supporters.
All right, we're back. Laurie, are you as excited as I am to start this whole 9 questions shenanigans?
Yeah, I guess. A little nervous maybe, but shoot.
I got a couple good ones for you that I specifically created for you. Those are the easy ones. I got a couple of ones that I normally do that are maybe come across a little hard. Okay. Can you confirm to me that you have no idea what what I'm about to ask you?
I confirm I have absolutely no idea.
All right. Number 1, one thing I do know about you is that you are a musician, and you've played keyboard and you're very talented in that respect. Now, using that as those are my words, maybe not yours, but using that as inspiration, when one song comes on the radio, you just have to sing out loud. What song is that?
Rock and Roll Fantasy, Bad Company.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good tune.
It's a really good tune. It's not a super well-known tune, but I don't know. It just tickles something.
Yeah. That is a great tune. Good pull. I love that song. I haven't heard that song in a little while. I'm actually have to listen to that one today. Good pull. Love that. What was your first car?
Oh, I had a Chevy Celebrity, 85, silver.
Yeah. Chevy Celebrities came in either baby blue or silver, and right? Am I right? Like it was baby blue or silver, and it was like, I graduated in 95, so early 90s. It seemed like every other kid had a Chevy Celebrity, and it was either silver or baby blue. That is a very good car, and they were very reliable.
Classic.
What was your favorite cartoon or TV show as a kid?
I liked the Roadrunner.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do you even know what that is?
Oh yeah, Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner just constantly dropping anvils on each other's heads. Oh yeah, heck yeah! How do you not know that? I love that.
Everything was from the Acme Company.
Yeah, that's right. I love that. Good one. God, another good pull. What is one of your hidden talents? You can't say keyboarding.
I don't know. I'm kind of a what you see is what you get. I'm double jointed, but I don't think that's talent.
I think it'd be fascinating to see at some point, but yes, I think some people that I would say that's a hidden talent. I'll count that. Check that box.
Okay. All right.
Deal. Love it. Okay, this one might be a little bit off the wall. In the biography movie of your life, who would play you?
Oh, easy. I've been playing this game for years. Marissa Tomei.
Oh, I can see it. Oh, that is a good one. Good poll. Those of you that are not listening to this or not watching this, jump it out into YouTube and see that. You won't unsee it. I will not unsee that. That is a good poll. Wow, good work. What is your biggest pet peeve?
Probably people who don't do what they say they're going to do.
That is a very legit pet peeve.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can even tell me you can't do it, but just the ghosting and not doing anything, that bugs me.
Yeah. Good one. What now, opposite of that, what is one quality in a person that just continually impresses you? When you meet somebody for the first time or you've gotten to know them a little bit, what is that one quality where it's just like, man, I love that about that person?
I think it's the ability to put people at ease. Mm-hmm. Those people to me are just magnetic.
Yeah.
Everybody feels like they're a friend. Yeah.
That's a hard thing to put your finger on what that is. I think there's some energy. There's probably a lot of things that go into that. When I meet people like that, I actually had a call this morning with a guy and I could just feel it. Like 2 minutes into this, I'm just like, that is a solid human being. Like that is someone that really made me feel comfortable in the conversation. I love that about people. I'm with you on that. Good one. Okay. When making a big decision, who is one person, like you remember, like Who Wants to Be a Millionaire? You had to make your lifeline call. Who's you, and it can't be your husband or anybody in your immediate family. Who is the one person that you call to get some outside perspective?
Probably, oh gosh, there are a lot of people I would call, and I can't say. Well, I would probably my friend Nikki Flavin.
Sweet, good.
Yeah, she's a good girlfriend of mine.
Yeah, she from around here, or is she from back home?
She is actually from Long Island, New York.
Oh, so she comes from your fashion background.
Well, I met her here, but
you did. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sweet. All right. Cool. Good one. Shout out to Nikki. There you go. Share this podcast with her. Okay. 9th question. Look at that. We hammered through 8 and it wasn't even that bad.
Can we do 20? This is
right. I told you, right? I told you we're bad. All right. The last one is my favorite one. I made this one specifically for you. And I only asked this question of certain people that I think have an affinity for something. So Mount Rushmore, there's four presidents, ex-presidents on Mount Rushmore. Who is on your Mount Rushmore of fashion designers?
Oh, okay. Let's see. I have to put Coco Chanel on there to go back. This is so hard because there are so many.
Well, we've had 47 presidents, I think, or something like that. And there's only 4 of them on Mount Rushmore. So yeah, Coco Chanel is a good start. You get 3
Oscar de la Renta.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Very classic. So I have French, I have Italian. I would say for American designers, I would go probably Michael Kors. I like his classic style. And then, let's see, avant-garde, maybe Todd Oldham. I don't know.
So what's fascinating about this was watching we're probably going to end up cleaning up some of this, but the way you processed through designers and the way you're watching you work through, like how even your positioning of like French, Italian, American, avant-garde, and you were compartmentalizing and thinking through it, like that was awesome to watch. Like that was so cool of you, how your process was of eliminating some people and adding some people to this was fascinating. And it just is truly shows obviously your passion for design and fashion, but yet I just sat here and watched that. That was cool. Just the way that you positioned that and the way that you thought about it was completely how I don't doubt for a hot second you approach business or anything like that. It was pretty cool.
That's great. Thanks for that feedback.
Oh, I'm serious. I loved it. Yeah. All right. So so we talked about the future upcoming newsletter. You probably have a website. You just told me you're going to try and be more on LinkedIn and that kind of stuff. How can people find you / get a hold of you / all of those things? Learn more about you.
So probably the best way to connect with me is on LinkedIn. And so that's Laurie, rhymes with story, Hollinger. Just find me, send me a connection. I'm happy to connect. My website is hollingerco.com. And on there, you can schedule a time for us to see each other live. That would be great. Those are probably the two best ways to get in touch with me right now.
And then when you launch that newsletter, that will be subscribable on your website?
On my website, on LinkedIn. And please do subscribe because I am also coming out with a 12-week mastermind on how for owners to reclaim their time and take the next leap.
Sweet. Good for you. I love that. And here's what we'll do. We will, on both all of our platforms, audio platforms, and then our YouTube channel, we will create hot links to your LinkedIn profile, your website. And then once the subscribable newsletter comes out, we'll grab that and dump that in there too. You know, one of the things that I absolutely love about doing what I do is get to meet new people and watch the impact that people have on each other's lives. But having a facilitator lead lives and lead human beings and lead entrepreneurs and leaders is a special gift. And I continuously hear from the people that are in your group about how awesome you are and the environment that you create that is safe. And you're a huge reason why people are loving the experience of being in their group and our community. So to me, that's a huge part of like who you are as a human and what you show up as every day. And it was emulated again here today. So this is no shocker that this was an awesome episode. But to me, like it's such a gift that our paths have crossed and you're on our squad.
Oh, and I love it. A shout out to everybody in the Authentics. I think we're going to coin that as our name.
I love that. Sweet.
And I love them back. Lots of love today. Thank you.
Sweet. Well, more people need to get to know you, Laurie. This was a great episode. So those of you that want to get to know Laurie, please reach out via the links in the show notes. On behalf of Laurie, this has been the Power of 9 podcast. I'm your host, Aaron Eggert, and I want to thank you for the privilege of your time.